Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a certified Zentangle teacher, and today we're going to take a look at the tangle Longwood from JJ LaBarbara. This is a neat fill-in that has some nice high contrast. Seems like it's been a while since we've done something from JJ. All right, and oh, what the heck, we'll go off of the page here. I'm going to start in the middle. Excuse me. And one thing that I did on my version of the step, it's like middle sort of, you know, although you could put a middle line because we will end up what do I want to say? There will be lines going through, so if you wanted to, you probably could put a center line. I'll explain as we get done. Okay. And let's do this. So what I'm doing is hold on to that there. Sets of double lines. So you know, one set of spacing here, and we are going to put 3 lines through here. So you just have to keep that in mind, and then a nicer gap. You know, and you know what? As you can see, if they don't end up exact, it's okay. And that's my job, to show you that it's okay. All right. You know what? I'm going to eyeball. I get pretty good at eyeballing, but here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this center line, because I just thought of it as I was doing the other ones. And then imagine one, imagining one here, imagining one there. All right, leaving a little bit of room here. So this one's going to have 3 lines. That will help make my point, I suppose. Okay, and then here, I'm just going off of the edge a little bit and up from there. My brain just forgot what I was doing. It's like, what? How much space are you leaving? I was almost, you know, maybe don't do this because I think that was throwing off my head. Okay. But I will explain as we get to the end. Okay, next step. Although, you know, you could probably do this one at the end, I suppose, but it is kind of nice right here. And that is, we're going to put a big orb over that square and fill it in. Carefully. Because yeah, what we don't need is to make more problems, because like a lot of times I'll, you know, go fast when I'm filling things in like this with this nice graphic 1 pen. And then sometimes you get a little, you know, out of control. And yeah. Now, something to keep in mind, if you like using color, well, I guess a couple things to keep in mind, because as you can see, we're going over, right? And so if you wanted to have one color, a different color for these filled in ones, you just want to make sure that it's going to cover over, you know, what you've already got there. And looking at the little thumbnail on Tangle, oh no, yeah, it is on Tangle Patterns, I think, yes. I was like, ooh, I wonder how she constructed this one. And my guess was that these big orbs were first. So I think it's kind of neat that they're not. Although, you know, if you really wanted to, if that works better, you know, in your brain, you could. And what I'm kind of doing is sort of like C shapes on every at every, you know, intersection around that square, C-ish shapes. All right. And I will say, if you're one that doesn't like filling things in, this might not be the tangle for you. Although it has a real, I mean, I like the result of it. And I don't know, I like filling things in. Could do it smaller too, I suppose. You can do anything you want. All right, 2 more. I usually keep these to the end so that way I well, you know what? Here, let me tell you about while I fill in these last 2. I was kind of being in the zone with them. But in that description section, you will find links to sticking. This is supposed to keep me in the thing, and I'm putting my finger on it and it's sticking. It's just a reminder for myself. But in the description section, you will find links to the step outs. And I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the Tangle. Below that is my link tree. So if you want to connect, if you're looking for, let's see, did I get, oh, I did get some on my fingers. I try using my nails so that way I don't get fingers in spots like this where we have a lot of ink, but you know, sometimes it's something to be aware of when you're doing a lot of fill-in. But anyway, in my link tree, you'll find links. You know, it said ways to connect with me. So if you're interested in classes, you want to come and hang out in our Tangle Addicts community Facebook group, we'd love to have you. There's 4 questions yet you have to answer. I'm going to say it. I like to say it right with it instead of waiting. Okay, so here's what we're going to do next. I'll start with this one that has that center line. Because what we're going to do is, I usually start with the center line. And this is what, you can go over that black if you want. I found it easier. Or, you know, you could try to, you know, hollow bow, sort of. But like this. So we're taking all of those. I just found it easier just to do that. And since it doesn't matter, I mean, well, although, I mean, you can, okay, I can kind of see the lines coming through, but it doesn't matter. And let's continue it. There we go. Although part of me is, I can feel this roughness from, you know, the paper is still a bit wet. Okay. And then the flip side. Trying to get that little bit, but it's under my finger. All right, well, let's get that there. Okay. And this kind of goes with the, and we have a couple of patterns that are like plaid, and this is kind of on those lines, but so different. Okay, now that is neat right there, but the next step is inside those squares, we're essentially going to do an asterisk. So I like to do the diagonal first, and then from here, being very careful to hit that intersection like that. And especially when we have the crisscross, I find it a lot safer to do that first. Then I don't have to think about, oh, well, where's the middle so I can get that in there right. And actually, and here's another thought with that. You could start from the middle and go up and go down. That works just fine too. You just have to make sure, I guess, to keep it straight so that way it doesn't get all extra wonky. Okay. And I'm not going to worry about the little partials. Okay, so that's it, except for to do some shading. Okay. And I do like what JJ did in hers because it looks really neat. And so we'll do that. I was thinking you could maybe put some graphite, and well, and you know, it still could, around the edges of these giant orbs and bring it in just a little bit. Up to you. You know, and then also, let me make mention, because, let me re-mention, because as I was doing the initial grid, you know, it was not perfect, and that is fine, right? But you could make these, well, possibly you can make maybe more space in between the orbs. It's up to you. You know, it doesn't have to be square. Well, like this one is kind of rectangle-ish, and it doesn't look weird. It's just, it all works. Ooh, so look at that, doing that just piece by piece here. And I'm sure also that there's probably, you know, there might be other fun that you could do. Could make some of the lines thicker. Since we essentially have 5 lines, if you count the outer ones, right? You could either put, if we start from here, you could put 2 and 4 thicker, or 1, 3, and 5 thicker. Something like that. Like I said, with the contrast on this one, I just think it's neat because it's a neat pattern as a fill-in, and it provides some nice contrast. Okay, last bit. And see, this is rather small, so I don't think I'm gonna do what I was thinking and put a little bit here, although who knows, I might change my mind in the last seconds. But let's take a look at this. Oh, that's neat. Oh yeah, see, and you can see my lines through. So maybe don't do that. Oh, but wait. Let's see if this fixes it. Because maybe I was pushing hard. I mean, it's the same. Ooh. Oh, I think it's like indented, and who knows, it's probably all just still wet. But interesting that this, just putting some more ink over it, seems to be taking care of that. Maybe because it's wetting it again, and then it'll all, you know, it does change the, what I want to say, the texture of the paper when you put ink on it, right? Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, that helped. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I'm thinking right now it might be too much to do both. Could do one a little darker than the other. That might be something. But yeah, super neat. So I hope that you enjoyed this one, and if you did, please click on the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. I've already mentioned the description section, step outs, link tree. Let's see, is there anything? I mentioned the Facebook group, but there's places there where you can follow me if you're interested in classes. I do a lot of them are free. Thursday, Tangle Time, free. We do a couple sessions on Thursday, so 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. my time here in Michigan. That's Eastern time. And we just take a tangle, maybe 2, who knows, because sometimes I don't until right before, because sometimes I decide right before, and then sometimes I also change my mind. But we always have fun exploring tangles and just seeing just how much trouble we can get in with them. It's really, really fun. And then I do have some paid ones as well. So all that stuff can check out on the link tree. And let's see, I think that's it. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you happy tangling.